Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. It's Wednesday. It's 4Cyclists Zwift Cup. Today we're riding 30 kilometers in road terrains, traverse road. And today we have one of the most participants in this race, almost 200, and there's still 1.5 minutes left till start. Today with you live will be me, Toms Kazaks, from ZZK Cycling Shop. Next 40 plus minutes we'll be following 4 groups, as always. A group for elite men's group, a B group, C group, and E group for women's category. Today in women's category we have a lot of riders, so it should be interesting to see what's happening there. Less than 30 seconds left to start. As always, A group starts first after 3 minutes B group, 6 minutes C group, and 9 minutes A group. All what you need to know about the race you can find and read in Zwift, Tevi, and 4cyclists.eu. Also remember, 4Cyclists are sport clothing manufacturers in Latvijā for making really good quality clothes. Straight away we can see our Wilsvikströms in front. Also Jans Andersson has returned to the race. Welcome back, long time no see. Also Martin Jürgensons, winner of National Latvian Championship. First owner of this title. Somerslikins, Berziņš, Artūrs Kazakevičs from Lithuania. Today we don't see a lot of riders in A group, probably because of the Zwift race yesterday, and also we have some riders who is sick, so I hope you all get well soon. But actually of these riders what we have here in A group should be a really interesting finish, because all of these riders are pretty strong. And I could say they're equals, so it should be really interesting. Also, since they're this small group, there's really big potential of someone attacking solo and trying to run away from the group, or maybe duos like we saw in Latvian National Esport Cycling Championships, where Martin Jürgensons and Arvils Wikströms just took off from the group and ride in duo for 10 kilometers till finish. And they really well secured their first and second position. So you never know, you never know. Also feel free to like, share and subscribe to our channels. Also check out 4Cyclists EU and Zwift.Tevi. Helps us to make better content and better races for riders all over the world and in Baltic states. So now you can see there almost 4 minutes in a race, and we can start to check B group. We can see Carlos Berland's leading B group or in front of the B group. Owner 4Cyclists and the main reason why we have this race. Also Johannes Mitchell is as always in front. We see a lot of riders from different countries, Germany, even Australia, France. Really nice to see such a big numbers. And as always, B group is one of the biggest groups, and second is C group. So a little bit less than 2 minutes and C group will start the race. And since the B group is this big, $3, paldies, ka ielaiku streamu. Since the B group is so big, there's possibility they could catch up to A group or someone who is left behind from A group. We can already see there on a wind bridge, and not long ago A group just crossed the wind bridge. And the speed for B group is 45 kilometers per hour. They're not like super rushing by the numbers what we can see. Also Lauris Parups, really strong rider from B. And let's head back to A group and see what's happening there. As you can see, B group is really big. So A group, sorry, also holding 43 kilometers per hour, but you can see they're definitely going slower. And this will be really interesting to see how it goes. Will we have the first time when B group catches A group? Will it happen today? Also, this track, it has two interesting climbs. A lot of stuff could happen there. We can already see Jans Andersson's falling back from A group. There is no surprise because he had some health issues, but he's here and he's fighting and he's riding, so that's really good. So we are now just seven riders in a position, and we can see Rinosh is fighting him back. Although he's not fighting, we can see he has pretty good beats per minute. So yeah, for now this group is this big, and I think they will spread out in the first mountain, but we'll see what's happening there. We'll head to Cablestone's section after this dirt road. And we can see that the C group already started. Also just crossed the stone tunnel. Second biggest group, but as we can see, they're going a little bit slower than B and A group, just 33 kilometers per hour, just cruising out. Although last time when we had the race, we could see actually pretty decent fight for C group's victory. So probably today we will see some Salzemniks probably fighting Skappers, fighting for victory of the C group. They're the strongest riders in this position. So also we'll try to check what's happening in the C group at the finish line. We're back at our real Wickströms, and women's just started the race. It's 9 minutes already in the race. We can see someone is falling back from a group. It's Merslykins, 2-second gap from front. Can he manage to catch the group? That's the question. I think for him it shouldn't be any problem, and yes, he definitely does that. I don't think someone will make a pretty serious attack today, trying to ride away solo. Probably a group will try to hold steady pace and ride till the end. Everything depends what will happen in the mountains. If someone will fall off, and some rider will see some opportunity. For example, Jürgen Swansky is really strong on the climbs. He could try to escape and just go for a solo victory, but we have to wait for the first climbs to see what happens, because we don't know what's the power levels for today for riders. Also, Berzinch is really big threat lately. He also could show us some surprises today. Here is Berzinch. He's been riding in the last races in our leagues, and I can see by the Zwift power statistics he's really putting it on and riding in every race he can catch, I assume, and he has actually good results. So he's definitely a rider where we should look out for him and wait for some surprises. Just 6 riders in a group fighting for victory today in 4Cyclists Cup. So let's see what's happening with women's. We're now just seeing Swift Liberty. For now, she's in 14th position from 27 women. That's the highest count of women we have ever had in this race. Really nice to see that. So let's check what we have on the list. And what's happening in front. Eva Uzana still holding in front. Also, we have some riders from America, from England. Really happy to see that. Also from Canada, from Denmark. So this should be really interesting. For now, girls are just holding together. We can see some ladies are behind the whole group. Krista Puzit from Latvia, Bendiņa. There's some almost half-minute gap, but definitely we have some girls also in front. We can see there's some riders from the same team, if you're not counting Latvian cycling girls. So it should be really interesting to see how the girls perform today and what will come on end on a finish line. We will see some potential fight for victory. Who knows? Who knows? Time will show. So we're now back on a group. You can see there is a climb, 10% climb. That's a huge one. Martin Jürgensen, as always, when there is a climb, he's in front. Merslykins looks like a little bit struggling in the back with yellow throne bike. Kazakevich is still holding it in a group. That's really good. In some races last time, he got hit out of the group because of many attacks from LV2 Max team. Presumably some of the riders hold together, ride together using Discord and try to work out some team tactics. But today, since we have so low count of the riders in a group, it could be different, and it definitely will be, but we can't say it for sure since you're not in a team. But yeah, I was wrong about Merzlikins. I think he heard maybe what I was talking. He just pulled in and he didn't give up. Jürgenson's still holding phase, 400 watts, 177 beats per minute. As always, we can see he's in his element climbing. Already made a 1 second gap. Arvel Wikström's trying to catch him. Doesn't let him go. Wikström's posting already 9 watts. He don't want to let Jürgenson go because he know what happened in Latvian cycling esports championship, and he don't want to make the same mistake. He's paying close eye on Jürgenson's. Although they are in the same team, in cycling there's always fight. And we can see the group is already stretched out, but probably they will lower down the pace so everyone can get back together. Andersson's almost 2 minutes behind. So Merzlikins, in the end, he kinda fall back from a group, but he's a rider who could potentially catch in and try to catch the group. Also, Kazakevich is still holding in a front. So 5 riders left from 8 in the beginning. 10k already done, 20 to go. For Merzlikins, it would be really important to try and catch the group now, because if he don't do that, it will be a really tough time for him. And we have next small climb. Jürgenson still in a lead, still leading the group. And now they're all back together. Also bear in mind that we are only taking in consideration regarding results riders who has registered profile in Zwift Power. So we can check legitimacy of their rides till some extent, and in some cases we can ask dual recording, public Strava profile if we can't find it, or some other proof if we have some suspicion. So now we're switching to B group, 3 minutes behind A group, and as we can see, there's still pretty much riders. Although there's 3 minute gap, there is possibility they could kind of catch A group, because they are already picking up Jans Andersson's 10-second gap just between them. He's on a big crossing bridge here, and they will definitely pick him up. For him, it would be best choice to stick with the B group, to try to stick in a B group and catch the wind with them. That's his best option here. So this is kind of interesting place, because a few years ago when we had the race here, and we didn't have quite polished reglement of riding. Some riders switched the bikes here because it was much faster going downhill here with a mountain bike than it was with a road bike. Now the reglement has changed, and you can switch bikes out in the middle of the race, so the speed kind of goes down a little bit. Also, for riders who are using Taxino 2, they have this real road feel simulation, and when they're going on a road like this trainer vibrates a little bit and gives you this extra feel that you're actually riding on these terrains. So Merzlikins, like he's back in a group. He pulled everything back, and they're now going on the downhill for 3% downhill on this little gravel section, and he pushed a little bit of wattage so he could kind of rest for a while when they're going downhill. Kind of smart move. He's definitely a rider with experience, but for now we haven't seen him win any of the races. So now we'll fast switch to women's. Let's see what's happening there. Switching to Eva Uzane. So girls are still riding together. Uzane is still in front, and Diane Spiridosk also in the same front group. Olga Luksha, really happy to see that. There's a lot of women today in a race. Yes, today we will have really interesting E-groups competition. Not just 2 or 3 riders, but a lot of riders, like 10 riders on a finish. I hope to see a really good finish sprint. Already done almost 10 kilometers, 11 minutes in race. Average speed about 39-40 kilometers per hour. That's actually pretty good. So we'll see what's happening in the first climb when they hit the mountain. Probably will make some changes in the group, and my assumption is the group will split out a little bit. And girls are already picking up someone from a C group. That's no surprise, it's not the first time it's happened. So as you can see, it's kind of common that previous groups pick up riders from groups in front, like the tails, and some riders stick with it and just jump in a following group and just finishes the race like that. There's no shame of it. Switching back to Vikström's Wood Bridge. Still 6 riders in this group. It's actually hard to think what will happen in this group. Will someone attack? Will nobody attack? Will they stick together? There could be a lot of stuff happening here, and it's really hard to predict what will happen. So we have to just follow and see. Also I have this Free North rider. It's hard for me to tell if he's strong or not because he's not registered in Zwift Power, but he could probably make some surprises here too. It's well known that some unknown riders who are not registered are actually pretty strong, and after a few races they registered their profile to Zwift Power. Because they feel the potential, what they can get from it. And essentially, for people wondering what Zwift Power is for, basic and most primary option for Zwift Power and the purpose of it is to just check the rider, see its profile, leave some comments, participate in races, see race results, see other rider data, see your data. So you can use this and collect this data to improve your performance or prepare for some race. If you see some other riders doing some performance levels there. So it's kind of really helpful tool. A little bit more than half race already done, 24 minutes in race. From start we had 9 riders on a start line, now we are down to 6. All really strong riders. Nobody can tell what will happen here. My initial assumption was that all these riders will go on a finish. Almost 20 kilometers. Let's see what's happening in B group. 3.2 minutes behind A group. Group has gotten a little bit smaller, although they're still B group. Now we'll slowly climb down the B group, see what's happening there. We can see Jan Sandersson's is in B group, cruising with them. In the middle of B group. Oh, Lars Parps, fallen of the first group, that's a surprise for me. Also we can see Carlos Berlands in a second chasing group. Half a minute after the B group's front. This is interesting. This is something new for me when I see some riders like Parbs in a second, or Pels also. Pels in the second group. Usually they're riding in a group's front. Now we're switching to C group. See some Russia. He's in front, 8-second gap. Lean second, and Kane in third place. Although group is not really far from him, they will probably pick up the two front riders. Usually that's what's happening in a C group. Have never seen that in a C group someone just solo shootouts from a group and wins the whole race. But you never know. We can see also some B riders here, and let's switch to women. So we have one rider from America in the first place, 20 seconds in front of the second place, Joland, and she's 12 seconds in front of our Latvian riders and some American riders, so Livardas, Pirtauska and Spiers. There are three girls chasing the front. 12-second gap, that's the gap what they have to beat to catch the second place. And it makes almost a minute to the first place, so we can definitely see that mountain, the climb did the changes, and it impacted the group really hard, because the group was actually pretty big in the beginning, and all the girls were holding really close together. Now we can see the first climb did the changes, and definitely the second climb will do more changes than this. So girls have to be careful how they ride this, and probably try to draft more, although they have to balance between drafting and catching the front if they want to make it, because we can see from 12 seconds now it's down to 10. So I definitely see that the three chaser girls, Livardas, Spiers and Spiridowska, is catching the second place. The biggest question is, can they catch the first place? Because 20-second gap, soloing like this, that's a huge gap. And if she did that big gap, she's definitely a strong rider, and she's ready for what she is doing. But like I said, there are still climbs coming in front of us, so we'll see. We'll check on them back shortly, but for now we need to switch to A group. 20 kilometers done, 31 almost 32 minutes in a race. We can see 3% climb, so this race is no joke. This is actually a hard race. So we can see we have someone falling back, although he's pushing and he's trying to, spike push and catch the riders in front. 2-second gap, he has to do it. We can definitely see that these climbs are hard. They're barely catching to the group. Merlikins also looks like struggling sometimes, but still holding in a group. And also for Rinush. Oh, I'm sorry. I think this, if someone would want to attack, this would be the place where to try to attack, like few 100 meters ago. For example, Jürgensons and Wikströms, they could definitely make an attack, and I think they could succeed attacking. The question is with Kazakeviches. If the Kazakeviches goes with them, they could definitely run away in this trio. The question is, will they do it? And will someone allow them to do? Also, Berzinch is still in a race. He's the wild card. We don't know what he can do. So like I said, we have a lot of small amount of riders today in A group, but it makes it much interesting than it was 20-30 riders in A group. because nobody wants to let go, because they know if they let go, they can't catch up on solo. Now we have this 1% climb. This is not a huge climb. You can barely feel it. And transitioning on 0% on flats. So we can now see their crossing. And I think I saw someone using mountain bike. I will have to check on him. Dirtbergs, check on him later. Yes, it's forbidden to change bikes in a race, so this is how it looks. I don't know if he changed it or not. Did he start maybe the race already with mountain bike? But it would be a really huge disadvantage for him in the most part of the race. But in this section, he's actually winning a lot with riding with mountain bike. But we will definitely get back to him and see what he's doing. Now there are only 5 riders. Only 5 riders in front. And they're going on a climb again. 21.8 kilometers. If something will happen, it should happen here. That's my assumption. It's really hard to read what Mr. Wilkins is doing, what's happening there, because in climbs or in some sections it looks like he's falling back and he can't hold himself in a group. In some sections in episodes it looks like he's ready to pull out the big guns and try to escape with pretty huge attack, so it's hard to read what's happening there. 3% climb here. Going on uphill. You can see that the Renosh 57 seconds, so almost a minute behind a group. So he didn't hold the pressure on these climbs. And I can understand him. It's definitely really hard to climb like this when you have up and down, all this jumping really puts a stress on your legs. Seven kilometers left till finish. Hardest part is done. Now it's just riding till finish, and then we'll see the big finish fight, this finish sprint. If I would have to guess, my strongest guess would be Arvil's Wikström's, because I think he's one of the strongest from sprinters here. Although if Kazakevich's makes till the end, till the finish, he's actually really strong too. And as we can see now, he's 144 beats per minute, so he's not definitely pumped out. He has some juice left in the legs, and should be really interesting. So Wikström's versus Kazakevich's. Although Jürgensson's could pull out some tricks like he did in Latvian championships when he did a massive sprint with 16 watts per kilogram and destroying in the beginning of sprint Arvil's Wikström's, but mostly because Arvil's wasn't so prepared for such a huge sprint, and also he was worn out from escaping the group. So the riders will probably gather the strength riding downhill here. As you can see, the track is coming back from where it came. So this is the place where to collect all the strength you have left. And try to draft as much as possible, because drafting in downhill and Zwift is a huge deal and it really, really helps. We can see the speed, 72 kilometers per hour, with no pedaling, just riding downhill. Also, you can see the Tron bikes. When a rider is pedaling, Tron bike glows in represented color. When they stop pedal, Tron bike becomes gray. So it kind of stops channeling the power, and that's the main thought of the Tron bike. As you can see, we see from first perspective, it's kind of bumpy, so people with simulation trainers can really feel this bumpy road, this gravel road. "26 kilometers, 4 to go, and finish is coming really fast." We can see B group almost 4.5 minutes behind A group. A group has put a lot of power on the climbs. B group didn't have the juice to do it, although they were much more riders in a B group. So that's why A group is the leaders, and they're called elite riders because it asks from you 4.5 till 5 watts per kilogram. Jürgensson's 7, 8, almost 9 watts per kilogram. He just shut out. He's probably trying to attack. Berzinch is not letting go. Berzinch is trying to catch Jürgensson's, and he will probably succeed. There's only 1 second gap. Wikström's is probably trying to draft Berzinch to save up some power. This could really play off to Jürgensson's this attack. There is almost 27 kilometers, so 3 kilometers to go, and Wikström's could really benefit from this, although Berzinch could try to attack too. And also Murzlikins is trying to pull in. Kazakevich's sadly 5-second gap. I don't think he can make it if another attack comes from Wikström's, Berzinch or Jürgensson's. So Berzinch in front now. Wikström's drafting Berzinch, probably saving some energy for finish. 27.1 kilometer already done. We have 44 minutes in the race. So like I predicted, a little bit more than 40 minutes in total. I think Kazakevich has had some technical difficulty because I don't see him in a list. He probably got disconnected from a race. And we can see Murzlikins joining the front group. Jürgensen's probably tried to test what will happen if he tried to run away, if someone will follow him or no, because we have seen in races before that someone just tries to shoot out the bullet, nobody tries to stop him or catch him, and then he can punish everyone for not paying attention. Oh, Kazakevic is back. He's reconnected, or maybe there was some section change and I couldn't see his avatar in the race, so thanks for that. Good that he's back in a race, but there is a 15-second gap. That gap kind of grew up really fast. Yeah, but you never know. I still think there was some technical problems. 2 kilometers till finish. Let's see what's happening and what will happen. Berzinch in front. One last climb here, and then we are going on flats. You can definitely see the pressure growing in riders. Impatience. In end, all 4 riders on a finish. I really hope I will be able to catch first 3 places, but as always, I will check in Zwift Power. Dan rakstā, jā, Kazakevičs izskatās bija kaut kas ar netu, jo vienā brīdī vienkārši viens no 5 pazust. Jep, man ir tā liekas. Okay, last kilometer, we can already see in top right corner in the minimap the finish arc. So finish is really close. Tension are growing up. 4.3, 3.6. Almost everyone has 4 watts per kilogram. I really hope I won't miss the finish. I really want to see who will be the one. Somebody's leaking's kind of in front a little bit here. Wikström's building up speed. 15, 19. Oh my god, almost 20 watts per kilogram. Jürgensen's trying to follow, but Wikström's is still going. 15 watts per kilogram. Already gap 1 second with Jürgensen's, and oh, nice victory, nice attack, really strong attack. This was like a revenge from Wikström's about national championships. Wikström's did enormous attack on Merzlikins and Jürgensen's with almost 20 watts per kilogram. Amazing numbers. Nice finish. Really good attack. Really fast attack. I think nobody could react on that. Really well thought, well prepared attack. So, still await Zwift Power result, although I think 100% there is no doubt that Wikström's won this race. Jürgensen's probably did the 2nd place, although on a finish line Merzlikins almost catched on him, and maybe the 1 second gap didn't update as fast as I wanted, and Merzlikins catch him, but we'll have to check on zwiftpower.com. Also, full results in a few days. You can find them 4Cyclists EU and Zwift.lv. Jesus, they slept. Yeah, probably. So we can now see B group is really closing fast to the finish. When you see this big group closing to the finish, it's a nightmare for me as a spectator to actually catch the winner of the race. but I hope I will be able to do it. We have a lot of strong B group riders here, although some riders who are usually in a B group finish are not here. We can see Natskons, we can see Michulis from Veletreninjelvē, and also Semin. He has won some races in a B group this year. Jurberg's also here, so we are switching to top U2 probably. Try to see, so Jurbergs, Semi, someone just pushed Jurka 6 watts per kilogram, although I think Natskons will make him work for it. We can see some Italy rider Guardia, Lithuanian Godvilas, 600 meters, they're already pushing, they're making pressure. Oh, was strong attack, 12 watts per kilogram, nobody stays close. Okay, we can see someone staying close, but was definitely first place. I don't think someone can catch him, although there's 300 meters left. Or Horsley from England. No, second place, Horsley first place. Was I'm pretty sure of it, although everything can change, and I'm really sorry that I'm swapping really fast from B to C group. It's just how Zwift now works. But this finish for B group was a interesting one. Usually I don't see swapping first, second, and third place so late in the finish in a fast 15 meters, but like you saw what happened here. And if we're checking C group, we can see there's one rider in second place, almost 20 seconds in front of closest followers, but we have to see where we have C group front rider, the first place. Okay, from France, Russia. 2 minute difference. 2 minute difference from second place. I don't know what happened there, and if it's actually legit difference, but he has done it. The proof of proper strength group will decide Zwift power, but for now, from the data what we can see, he is in a C group in the first place with 2 minute gap from closest follower, and closest follower is Klavinch, and for him closest followers 22nd, the chasers group, and it's hard to tell if the chasers will catch the second place, but I'm 100% sure that Russia has secured a really nice victory in the C group for himself. Wikström's kicks. Wikström's kicks, yeah. I'm really watching this. I really felt that he was like so concentrated on a victory. He was ready. He was prepared. He was pumped up. He has loaded his guns to push on this finish. I just really sad that he had, I think, some technical problem or something, because I couldn't switch to him and watch his live feed, although he gave me a link, and my plan was to translate his finish live here with you, but yeah, sadly it didn't go. Befinish atkal 100 metri pēc arkas. Jā, Zwifts atkal var pastīties atkārtojumu, man viss rādās arkā tā kā jābūt. Turpat man liekas, ka Zwift administrācija, event manageri nevar neko ietekmēt, ar kuriem es runāju, jo, nu jā, arka rādās, kur viņi ir, viss it kā bija jābūt. Žēl, diemžēl, ka tā jāpievērš uzmanībā labajā pusītē minimapam, tur it kā var redzēt to līniju, vismaz es pēc tās vados, net iespējams, kad kaut kas nav, jā. So 27.7 kilometers, C group, more than 2 minute gap, and we can see as I predicted second place, 20-second gap has decreased till 0, and they picked him up. And probably there will be a bigger fight for second and third place in C position, and then we will switch to girls. In women's category, we will see what's happening there. Last time we checked, it was like 15 minutes ago. There were 2 minute gap in the front in the first place, 2-minute gap from second place. And if I'm correct and if I remember properly, there was also a gap between third place and 20 seconds. So I just want to check one cyclist in a C group. Okay, he's still riding MTB bike. Just for info, just for checking. Also, we can see women has spread out a lot. We can see a lot. 7th place for Liberté. Ozana 5th place. We can see only 2 girls now chasing the front, and like I predicted, they catch the 2nd place with 18-second cap, and last month and did the changes, but the 1st place decreased from 2 minutes to 1.5 minutes, and I think they have swapped places, but I digress. And let's see what's happening in the C group. We already know 1st place. So yeah, he's just chilling, cruising. Nothing major, although we can see by the beats per minute 177, so he's all out. But the biggest interest I have in 2nd place, sorry I switched to the wrong person here. Svensson from Sweden. Also Lithuanian riders. And also pretty big group going in a finish to fight for the 2nd and 3rd position here. Jā, kā kuram citam 100, citam 150, man pējām rādījās tur, kur bija jābūt. Oh, we can see someone pushing 9 watts per kilogram. Kanne. 2nd place, trying to secure it. I think this was too fast attack for the C group, and Chaser group will definitely pick him up. Although this is a C group and surprises can happen also here. So 1.4 kilometer to go. 15 minutes in a race already. Ārvil, man tev jautājums, cik Red Bulls izdēri pirms finiša? Three-second gap, 2nd place. You can see Solzhenitsyn also in a group, and from my experience, I don't think he wants to allow just to give 2nd place away like that, because we still don't know if winner of C group was in right strength category, because 2-minute gap you don't see often in C group. But Kanne is still moving forward. 600 meters till finish. Still in the 2nd place. Klavins, Solzhenitsyn, putting up some real numbers. And as always, Solzhenitsyn, he has saved everything till the last. And Solzhenitsyn takes candy away from 2nd place, and Skapper's 3rd place. Really well done, like a precision knife. I didn't expect anything else from Solzhenitsyn. I have seen so many finishes what he did, and it's basically the same every race. Really nice, really nice. Vienu vāju kafiju pa ceļam no 6 soli. Nu, es ceru, ka tavs trenažieris vēl projām ir vietā un ka tu nenolauz klaņas ar 20 vatiem uz kilogramu ejot finišā. Okay, so let's see what's happening on women's group. I even don't know what to pronounce surname because I think I will try to say it wrong, and I think it's nickname instead of surname. But at Fishki, I suppose it's E. So she's in the first place, 1.5 minutes in front. We can see that the gap is decreasing, but I don't think it will decrease in a speed that she could lose the first place. It also looks like she's really much secured the first position. So rider from America, 3 watts per kilogram. And I don't think anything can happen here, although we, in the last races in the Latvian Nationals, we saw something happen with Dana's hardware, so she got disconnected from, quite frankly, really successful attack, making a 20-second gap in first climb, and then something happened with the trainer and she got disconnected. So in this sport you can never tell someone has won the race if he hasn't crossed the finish line. For everyone watching, also a reminder, in this weekend we have Latvian National Esport Cycling Time Trial Championship, and for everyone wondering, yes, you can use time trial bikes, and you have to use time trial bikes in these races. Aqua Tunnel is done. The last climb is done. Now it's just chilling on a flat till finish. Tu jau zini, kā teikt kāds braucējs no mūsu kaimiņu valstīm. Čīteris. .2 kilometers till finish. The gap between second place still persists, and I don't think anything can happen there. Speedy Doskane, 4th position, together with Uzane. Uzane just 2 seconds behind, and Svet Liberté a little bit more than half minute behind Uzanes. Potential fight here for second and third place, and we can see American rider already pushing in. So first position still going, 700 meters till finish. Also, every rider who participates in this race, don't forget to check 4Cyclists EU webpage, because every participant in this race are automatically joining contest for some surprise from 4Cyclists. Last week it was gloves, this week maybe something else. So go check out 4Cyclists in a few days to see some results, not some results, our results from this race, and also check maybe you won the lottery. So we can now congratulate first place owner from America in women's category, and now we're just Last piece of the puzzle today, we have to see the second and third place fight, if there will be one. There's 700 meters left. Yolland versus Spears. Sorry. I don't hope to see some enormous watts here, but probably we'll have some fight. You can see Spear already pushing up some pressure, building up some wattage. 5, okay, she's attacking, definitely going. And she did really well job, attacked really fast at 200 meters, and she definitely hold the second place, and congratulations on that. And yeah, now we can see how Zwift glitched. It still shows 29.9 kilometers, although they already did the finish. It just stretched out the race. Now I see in real life. That's strange, actually. That's definitely fault something with Zwift. And actually now I think maybe because of this she lost the race. But I digress, and we will see that in Zwift Power results. So for now we can check the first groups, A, B and C group, and check the results from Zwift Power in 4Cyclists Zwift Cup today on 16th of February. So for A group, although we just had 6 finishers from 8 in beginning who started the race, first place with enormous power, and I don't even want to know what happened with the bike and the trainer there. But first place, Arvils Bigströms from LV to Max team. Second place, Martin Schirgensons, his teammate. Third place, Merzlikins. No surprises there. Fourth place, Juris Berzinch. Fifth place, Artūrs Kazakevičs. And sixth place, Jānis Andersons. B group, Michael Semin. I think it's the second victory in Zwift Baltic races. Second place, Helvis Sebris. And third place, Lithuanian rider Rytis Gedvilas. If we are switching to C group, in a C group, for surprise, already Zwift Power has made some changes in protocol. So Aldis Solzemniek's first position, like I told you guys, the winner of C group with a 2-minute gap looked really suspicious, and he was in the wrong strength category. Second place, Kristaps Kappars, and third place, Hansons. New rider from Latvia. I think this is his first podium. Congratulations on that. And for women's, we still don't have results from Zwift Power. Like I said, you can check them out in zwift.lv or 4cyclists.eu. And we'll see you next week on Wednesday, as always, in Facebook and YouTube, in live translations, also in weekend Latvian National Esports Cycling Time Trial Championship. So stay tuned, follow us on Facebook, follow us on the website, and see you next week.